Hi, back again with another list because, hey, who doesn't love lists? I love lists, don't you? I'm a convert. I used to do like one fragrance at a time, but hey, we don't have time for that kind of stuff. So let's do a list. Today, I have a bit of a challenge that was set for me by another person who commented and said, hey, I like that last video that you did about, the fragrances that you wanted niche versions of. How about you do a list video of fragrances that are in the cheapies category that you want niche versions of? And I thought about that and I thought, okay, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good idea and I might do it. But then when I started compiling the list, I thought, these fragrances not only need to be cheap, they also need to be unique enough scent profiles, unique enough propositions so that they deserve a niche reinterpretation. So that's what we've got today. We've got 11 because, I don't do top 10s. I'll do you one better. 11 cheap fragrances, cheap as in inexpensive, as in comparison to other fragrances and especially in comparison to niche fragrances. So we've got 11 fragrances that are cheap and my budget that I set for myself was $50 Australian, which is like in American dollars, that's like $3. So I've got $50 as a budget on each one of these bottles and they need to be designer scents, they need to be unique scent profiles, and I think that yes, they should have a niche version. So let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with this first one right here, which I like to call Black Agent by Pascal Morabito. Now, Pascal Morabito is more well known for being a jeweler, but they also do fragrances. And the fragrance of theirs that is probably most popular is called Or Noir, which I think is black gold or something like that. And it comes with like a bottle with like a metallic sort of front. It's a pretty old fragrance. But they've also got this one, which I picked up maybe like a year or two ago, and it's called Black Agent. And it's really, really nice. Like if you like clove, if you like sort of dark resinous, if you like a bit of smoke and a bit of a rubbery feel, because the bottle itself is black and rubberized, and it does have a little bit of that rubbery element a la Bulgari's black. However, the clove itself and the smoke, yes, it's good, but I think it deserves a niche version. And again, this was like maybe $25 for this bottle. It deserves a niche interpretation because I like the combination of clove and smoke and a little bit of rubbery sort of vanilla as well. And I don't think I've smelled anything like this so far in the niche world. It's kind of close, apparently. I mean, it was kind of close when I was comparing it to Costume National Homme, the original, but that goes a lot more clovey. And then this one, well, actually it doesn't go anywhere because the longevity is stupid horrible on this one. So that's probably another reason why I'd like a niche interpretation, is because no matter how much you apply of this, it just doesn't last. You have to reapply. So maybe more perfume oils, maybe higher quality ingredients, and we have ourselves a winner. And this next one that I've got on this list is this one right here. This is Roberto Cavalli, Homme, I think. Yeah, Uomo. Okay. This I picked up because it was just there when I was at the pharmacy. I saw it and I thought, okay, let me give it a try, because this bottle here, which is a 60 ml bottle, it was $30. Okay. And this, I recall having a very lovely sweet sort of opening, which I do not like sweet scents, but this is just done really, really well. It's a really nice sweet spicy scent. However, it is really nice all the way from the opening to the mid, but then it dries down to the most boring thing I could ever think of, which is nothing. It just dries down to like this generic smell. It's not even a scent. It's not a note that I can pick up, but it's just a smell of something. And that's where it's lacking in quality. And usually what you want in a fragrance that's sweet and spicy is this long-lasting sort of kick of some sort of fixative, some quality fixative that keeps that spiciness going, even though the sweetness is sort of dried down and starts to work with the heat of your skin, right? And so that's why I think, as unique a proposition as this is and a scent profile as this is, I would love to see a niche version of it. I mean, look, the bottle is really nice as well. It's kind of got a quality sort of feel about it as well. And the scent's great, like I said, but it's just lacking a little bit. So therefore, I'd say that this one, Roberto Cavalli Uomo, needs a niche version. So I'm starting off with some heavy ones right here off the bat. And this one right here is called Stash. It's by SJP, also known as Sarah Jessica Parker. Now, this is what I get from this. It's like toasty sort of coconut husks, and it's really sort of, I want to say Moorish. That's not the right word. It's sort of really rough. It's really rough, okay? I like it. I like the fact that it looks like it's from a bootleg whiskey bottle. Even comes in a pouch because it's, you know, it's a stash from a speakeasy. That's the theme. However, and it's supposed to be a women's fragrance, but it is not. It's a men's fragrance. Sorry, ladies. It's a men's fragrance, and I like it. I really do. But I rarely reach for it because I think that the whatever they're using for that smell of the coconut husk and that synthetic smoke is just lacking in quality. This one, the scent profile is beautiful. It's just lacking in quality. It lasts for ages, right? And at the start, the first couple of hours, it projects really well as well. It's just, like I said, lacking in quality. And when your nose is sort of developed a little bit more and you've got a few fragrances in your collection already and you've gone past the designer dog shit stuff, you really look for quality. Your nose can pick it up. Your nose can pick up, you know, perfumer's alcohol. Your nose can pick up the synthetic ingredients that are lacking in quality. So I think that this deserves a niche reinterpretation. SJP, Stash, 100ml bottle, 40 bucks. I think I picked this up for. I think it's discontinued anyway, and the prices are gonna go sky high. They're not worth it. Just buy a niche something. All right, now this one I picked up on my last birthday haul, and it was 40 bucks, I recall. It was actually $36 something for a 100ml bottle, shipped from ye olde America town to the colony of Australia. And I'd never heard of it before. I got it just purely based on the name because it's by a brand called Byblos, which there is a town called Byblos in the place where I grew up, near where I grew up, in ye olde Middle East. And this fragrance is called Fusion. Now, when I smelled it, right, I smelled it and I went, it smells aquatic. Huh? It's really weird. It's got this aquatic sort of feel to it. However, I look at the metal plate on the front, and it has sort of embossed in it the notes where it says bergamot, black pepper, and oud wood. I thought, okay, I don't smell, actually I do smell some oud wood. I do smell black pepper. I don't smell any bergamot, unless this is a bergamot that's been pickled in seawater or something like that. And I thought, given its scent profile, that it is probably from the early to mid 2000s, because this is when that kind of crap was, you know, in vogue. But I find out it's from 2013 or something like that, and I was like, you guys missed the boat, literally. And your shit fell in the water, and then you sort of picked it up again, and you made a fragrance out of it. Good for you, really. So Fusion, if you can't read that, it says it's the strong sensual essence of a man. It's not really. It really isn't. It's probably. It's a nice guy fragrance. It's a metrosexual sort of mid 2000s to 2010 kind of fragrance. And funnily enough, when I was smelling this, I thought, okay, it starts off really kind of nauseating a little bit because I'm not really into aquatics. And look, it's even got the color of an aquatic, like that sort of teal sort of color. But then it dries down to something that I really, really like, and it uncannily resembles the dry down of M7 Fresh. And I don't think there's been enough people who've gotten their noses on this and also M7 Fresh to tell you this, but yes, this could be a dupe for M7 Fresh, or not a dupe, but let's say from the mids, from like the late mids to the dry down, this could be considered as an alternative to M7 Fresh, a cheap one as a matter of fact, if you can find it, because I think now it's also off the market, it's been discontinued. But it is a very unique scent profile. I don't have anything like this in my collection of many. And I don't think I've smelled anything in the niche world that's like this either, because they're not really into doing aquatics too much, because it kind of has this sort of cheap stigma to it. Wonder why, CK and Ralph Lauren. But yeah, it does last a long time. It's just, again, the quality, and I think that there could actually be real oud wood in here. I'm not quite sure, because I can see sort of particles of stuff in here, or it just could be some terrible quality control. And there's bits of Byblos in here. Who knows? But in terms of scent profile, I really do dig it. And I wish that there was a high quality version. Longevity is pretty good, like I said, but then again, we could have something, even if it's a niche version of a clone of the M7 Fresh, which I love. I really do. I actually like M7 Fresh more than M7 itself. I think that even a niche version of this, which was closer to M7 Fresh, would still be cheaper than M7 Fresh. So please somebody do it so that I can pick it up. Thank you so much in advance. All right, it's number 5. We're halfway. No, we're not halfway, because this is not a top 10. This is a top 11. Don't. Okay, this one is Vera's Wang for men. All right, Vera's Wang all the way for men. I love this bottle. It's super quality. It's very elegant. And look, I haven't used much of it, because when I do try to use it, it disappears, and I overspray it and it still does not last the distance, or I go anosmic to it really, really quickly. Cheap cap. They cheaped out on the cap, and I'm gonna do this. Yeah, far out. That is so nice. For something that was like $22, $23 for a full 100 ml bottle, full presentation, not a tester, I think that this is a phenomenal scent profile. Again, it's not really standout-ish. It does not very shouty and screamy, saying, hey, look at me, I'm oud, or I'm super sweet, or I smell like dog shit, or I smell like dog shit, or something like that. It's just very classy, very elegant, just like the bottle looks itself. It's really something that you would see in one of those wedding preparation sort of videos, you know, where the fragrance is next to the cufflinks and the tie and the whatnot and all that kind of shit, because it goes well with that. Because, you know, Vera's Wang, they make wedding dresses, don't they? I don't know. I've never not worn a wedding dress recently. In any case, I think it's a great scent profile, and I think that there should be a really, well, I mean, in terms of quality, I think it's pretty good, but it could be much, much better, because that photorealisticness should come out. And I'm not going to go through note pyramids or anything for this one, because there's really nothing special that stands out here. Like, it's not like a citrus thing. There's no leather. There's no oak mossiness that sort of stands out in here either. There's no tobacco that stands out. It's just a scent, and it's a lovely scent. However, it doesn't last very long. It doesn't last very long at all. And it just could be my nose, but it's not. And that's the truth, according to me. So yes, Vera's Wang, maybe if someone is a big fan of this, I think apparently Will Smith, I don't believe it, because apparently Will Smith is supposed to be, this is supposed to be his signature scent, but I don't think so, because like Will Smith's a million billionaire or something like that. Why would he wear a $22 fragrance? Maybe he might, I don't know. I don't want to offend Mr. Slappy. So I think that this deserves a niche reinterpretation. I think it really does. And I think that somebody should do it. Do it. Okay, so the next one is a blast from the past. It's a blast from my past, because I did have a bottle of this in the 90s when I was a wee young lad. Teenage guy, and it is this one right here. This is Roma Uomo by Laura Biagiotti, and I'm saying that correctly. I know, because, you know, I've eaten pizza before. All right. Man, I don't care what you say. There is gelato in here. There's a note of gelato which really pulls me in, and That's what it did initially when I first smelled it on my friend who had this fragrance, and then I had to have a bottle of it as well because I loved it so much. It was such a great scent, and we wore it in the summertime as well. So I've got a lot of summertime memories associated to this scent profile. And I think in this reformulation, and this is reformulation number 3, it's been reformulated 3 times since its initial release in 1992? 1988. I can't remember for the life of me. Ooh, I might be losing my YouTube fragrance reviewer's license real soon. Anyway, they've messed up the base note of this. There used to be some quality benzo in here in the base that used to keep that quality goodness. The depth is just not there. I chuck this on and I start getting bathed in that sort of gelati goodness, and then it just disappears. It goes away. It doesn't really last very long. And the pungency of the opening isn't there how I remember it either. I have tried to source like an original sort of formulation of it, but then I gave up because it was too expensive and it's not worth it. This here is like 35 bucks or something for this 125 ml bottle. It's a big bottle. It's pretty damn good for what you pay. However, once you've gotten past the fact that, yep, it smells, if you've smelled the old one, you'd be like, far out, that's awesome. And you smell this one, you're like, it's not that great. But then if you smell this the first time around, you'd be like, oh, this is really nice for the price. But I wish there was a niche version of it, I really do. So anyone who's watching who's got also scent memories tied to this, gelato and benzoin, please do it. Why isn't anyone doing a gelato and benzoin fragrance? For the life of me, I don't know why. Isn't it obvious gelato and benzoin go together? Isn't it? Okay, the next one is something that I picked up, I don't know, only recently. Well, not recently, but like, I'd say maybe like 3 years ago or something now. Okay, it's this one right here. This is Visit by Azzaro, and it is a fragrance by Annick Menardo. There you go, I remembered. And this fragrance, with its tacky atomizer, it's supposed to be, or people say that it smells like Gucci's Rush for Men. I do have Gucci Rush for Men. It doesn't really smell like that very much, just because they share a common sort of note that's present in here. However, I think I prefer this to Gucci's Rush for Men because it goes in the direction that I like, which is in the incensey and resiny sort of direction. It is blue in color, but damn, it is not Azzaro's chrome. I think they got the color wrong. In terms of Visit, I think I've talked about this before, and I say that I get the smell of coriander stems in here as well. It's sort of like almost like a creamy sort of thing going on too with the nutmeg. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it, but when I do love it, I love it so much. However, it's just a designer scent, and it's got the designer sensibilities, it's got the designer quality, and it really doesn't take you on the journey that you want to go. Please, Annick, if you are watching, I don't know if they allow perfumers to watch fragrance review videos or if it's in their contract or not. Please see if you can make a niche version of this. It would be out of this world, I swear to God. It would send people into transcendental sort of journeys where they have out-of-body experiences and watch themselves doing crazy awesome stuff. Maybe. All right, the next one is a guilty pleasure of mine, and I'm pretty sure that I've spoken about this so many times before in so many videos. And summer is coming up, and I'm gonna wear the other half of this bottle of Sean John's 3 AM. I only picked this up last summer, and look how much of it is gone because the performance is so shite that I have to keep it in my pocket. And that's really awkward when you're at the beach in your tight sort of budgie smugglers and you've got one of these in there as well. Yes, I am happy to see you, but my thing is not shaped like, like this. Can you imagine? Okay. Let's move on and talk about fragrances, shall we, children? Yes, let's do that. All right. Fig and citrus, and known for also having one of the best atomizers in the world. That is so damn good. And I guess one of the reasons why I've used so much of it is because of that bloody atomizer that sprays out so much juice. In the summertime, this thing is so freaking good. I spray all of myself with all of the clothing that I'm wearing, and it works so great. It's just that it's not that good of a quality fragrance. I want a better, more realistic smells coming from that note pyramid, and I also want better performance. Oh my God, the performance is so shit. Did I mention the performance is shite on this one? I should mention it again. Yeah, the performance, not that great, Sean John. You're not performing very well. And this fragrance is called 3 a.m., which is probably when you'll need to apply it, and then you'll have to apply it again at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. And that's why I want a niche version of this. But until then, I'll probably empty this bottle in the coming few months. All right, number 9, and it's another blast from the past. Guess what? It's this one right here, which is The Dreamer, or just Dreamer by Versace, or Gianni Versace. It's Gianni, not Johnny, Gianni, okay? Or as the Greeks like to call it, Gianni, maybe. This one, great. Lavender, tobacco, it is the dreamer. It really does. Oh yeah, there it is, far out. Now this one is one of the rare ones where it's from the 90s. I think it was 1996 release, and it was the last release to bear Gianni Versace's name while he was still alive. And I had a bottle of it back then. And I've had the original, and I remember it fondly because I can't forget the opening of this fragrance. It was always so pungent and in your face that it would literally give me a sore throat if I was in an enclosed room after spraying it on. I needed to be outdoors quickly for that opening to dissipate. But once it did, it was magic, and it lasted for a very long time. So does this. However, and like I said, it's one of the rare ones where I think the reformulation, which is this one, is actually better because they've toned down that opening. So it's not like a freaking punch in the face of like sort of really abrasive lavender. It's more mellow than that. However, it is still the same designer scent. And I think for the people that want something similar to this, that really want to enjoy something like this, which was again, $45 for this 100ml bottle, so it's within my budget. I think that anyone who did wear this in the 90s probably moved on from, within their lives, maybe moved up, hopefully, and in a better position financially than they were in the 90s when they were like a young kid, whatever, wearing this kind of scent. And now they're into niche, and they want, and they've been buying a ventouse instead of a niche version of this. Please, somebody. Who's with me? Make a niche version of this. It's pretty damn unique. Okay, second last one. It's another oldie, and it's another reformulation, and it is this one right here. This is Kenzo Jungle Homme. Kenzo Jungle Homme, and man, if there's anything like this, woods, lime, somehow creamy sort of sandalwood I get in here as well, which is so cool. And I've worn this in the summer, I've worn this in the winter as well. I prefer it in the summer. It just seems to work like in a balmy sort of summer evening and night. I think this will go great. I don't particularly like it in the searing heat of the day. Great scent, unique scent profile, kind of in the similar vein of like a Gucci Rush and the Azzaro's Visit. Right? So it's in that sort of direction. However, it turns into a generic mess after the mids sort of dry down. Really, I think there could be a lot more done with this particular scent profile. So yeah, can't remember how much I paid for this, but it wasn't very much. It's another 100ml bottle, full presentation. It was like around $40 or so to get me a bottle of this, and I think that it's worth it if you're looking to pick up something that's kind of unique in the designer realm. But really, in all honesty, I do think that if anything, that this would be a candidate for a niche fragrance, because of the note listings, I've seen so many niche fragrances with those notes as well. And I really do think that someone should do it. Someone should do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm pretty sure Kenzo would be fine. Well, actually, no, he passed away last year. Maybe he did. Well, I guess he should be fine with it because you're making a better version, or probably more closer to the interpretation of the perfumer of what the brief was. So yeah, go ahead. Kenzo, jungle, 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 rumble in the jungle. Pour Homme. Okay, lucky last in this list is going to be this one right here. It is Ginger Lover by Azzaro. Caught some hype when it came out, and that's why I bought it. And I think that it is worth the hype. It was 40 bucks for the bottle, delivered, full presentation. And damn, ginger I like. Sweet I don't, but this does it pretty damn well. It also has, I mean, people say it has a resemblance to Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme, but it doesn't. They don't share the same ginger note. I find this ginger to be more of a caramelized reduction of ginger rather than a fresh sort of zesty, I just grated fresh frozen ginger or something like that. This is a great scent. It's a great scent, and I think that it can be worn in warmer weather and it can be worn really well in colder weather as well. However, the sweetness can get cloying in here, especially when you overspray, and the ginger itself can be way more realistic than it is in here. So that's why it's made it in this list, and this means that I want a niche version of it. Come on, where are the ginger, the sweet ginger sort of fragrances in the niche world? Where are they? Are they hiding from me? Because I can't seem to bloody find them. In any case, let me put this away. In any case, that is the list of 11. Thank you. I think it was Fun with Fragrances who recommended that I do something like this, and that's where I got the idea from. So I did this list, and if I talked about fragrances that you think, hey, hold on a second, I know a niche version of one of the ones in that list, please pop them in the comments below, because we all like to share, we all like to know. We would like to also, see if you're, telling the truth, or if your nose needs an adjustment. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching.